Good afternoon, my circle. It is Saturday, October 9th, 2021, and I am here on the Salt River, back here. Last time I was here, it was summer, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the importance of holding your frequency today. I shouldn't be before you very long. Today is a 6th day, and 6 is characterized by the 6th chakra, which is the third eye. It is associated with vision. It is associated with the color indigo, which is the same color as space or what you see when you close your eyes. It is associated with the social complex or your soul tribe or being a caretaker or a parent. It is associated with the connections of a group, of a community. It is a high level of love and enlightenment and awakening. It's a community coming together. It is the universe. It is cosmic love and tranquility. 6 is a very important number, and keep that in mind. So we're going to talk about the importance of holding your frequency and how recently with the new moon in Libra that we recently had on October 6th, there was an opportunity, especially now that it's a Mercury retrograde, there's an opportunity to take stock in your relationships. And what is the most important relationship? Well, the one that you have with yourself. So, number one, taking stock in your relationship with yourself, understanding who you are, what you bring to the table, understanding the importance of cultivating yourself, your strengths, understanding your shadow, the traumas that you have, the triggers that you have, and working on those and transmuting those shadows into light. That is coming to terms with them, understanding who you are, embracing, accepting, and loving that. Okay? As you do that for yourself, it's going to make you a much better partner. It's going to make you a much better lover. It's going to make you a much better friend, a much better parent. Anything that you do that entails interacting with others, you're going to be exponentially better at it when you first practice on loving yourself and taking care of yourself. There's no way that you're going to be the best parent or the best friend or the best lover if you don't have self-love and you haven't cultivated an understanding of yourself and you have not become a student of your own emotional architecture and how you work and what makes you tick. You have to really be eager to know those things about yourself before you can really be the type of person who can do that with others. So this Mercury retrograde in Libra is about relationships, the foremost being the one with yourself. But then after that, the relationships with the people in your life that are closest to you. Hey, Boyd, the relationship with the ones that are closest to you, those are going to be those important relationships. And right now we're taking stock. We're reflecting on those relationships, and we're determining the quality of those relationships. And, you may be determining, is there reciprocity? Am I getting what I put in? Are people pouring into me as much as I'm pouring into them? Am I surrounded by people that have a purpose in my life? Do they bring something to the table? Do they lift me up? Do they make me feel good about what I'm doing and who I am and what I'm all about? Or do they do the opposite? Or are they sapping my energy? Or are they like energy vampires? Or are they manipulators? Or do I feel guilty because I'm not doing things that make them feel good? Or do I feel guilty because they're not satisfied with or happy with the things that I'm doing, the decisions that I'm making? Are they constantly critiquing me, constantly criticizing me, and constantly demonstrating that they don't really appreciate or value or respect who I really am at my core? Do I feel good around them? Do I feel of value around them? These are the questions, the tough questions that you have to ask yourself. And a lot of you have been avoiding this type of introspection about yourself and about your closest people in your circle, but now is the time. And I know that based on the things that are going on right now, things that are trending, energies that are trending, what's trending in the spirit, I know that people have been driven to the point where they realize that they have to go ahead and do this self-inventory and make an inventory not only of their own worth and their strengths and their opportunities, but also the value of those people around them and to what extent they're pouring into their lives. So this is definitely a time for you to be able to make some decisions about yourself and about those people that are surrounding you and or in that closest orbit to you. So very, very important. So another key is to make sure that the people that are in your life are aligned with where you're going. Because if they're not, what may happen is that you may be distracted from your own goals, distracted from your own goals, the things that are important to you, your own pastimes and hobbies and activities that bring you joy and bliss. If you're around someone who is very strong and into themselves, oftentimes you can lose yourself in their momentum and in their destiny and their purpose, and then you wonder why you're always feeling like I'm unhappy. I don't feel really good about myself. I feel like I don't have much going on. It's like, ask yourself, are you in the presence of people that are really busy not only doing their own thing, but they're recruiting you into their life? You find yourself veering into their lives, falling into their black hole and getting lost in their lives. These are things that you are going to have to rescue yourself from, because they're happy with you as long as you're doing their bidding. They're happy with you as long as you are fulfilling their needs for their destiny. But you have to make sure that whatever you're doing for others, and I'm certainly not someone who is not altruistic, and I'm not someone who's not generous. I'm all those things. But one of the things I have realized in my life as someone who is, a chronic giver, is to make sure that what I'm doing for others is aligned with my own joy. I'm going to make sure that whatever I'm doing for you, when I'm being generous, when I'm being altruistic, when I have something is saying, hey, go help that person, I'm going to check myself and I'm going to ask myself, is this aligned with what I'm doing? Is this aligned with my heart? Is this aligned with my destiny? Is this aligned with the things that make me happy? Because it's time out. It's time out for sacrificing your joy, sacrificing your comfort, sacrificing your bliss for someone else's happiness. That was the other age. We're out of that age. This is the age of Aquarius that we're moving into, and it is really all about remembering and recalling your blueprint, your cosmic fingerprint, like what God created you to be before you encountered your trauma, before you were fragmented by trauma. Who were you before that? We are being called to go back home. What is home? Your inner person, your inner cosmic blueprint, the person that you've always been meant to be. And so it's so important that you hold your frequency. Okay? So this is the point I'm trying to make. You and only you can know what your frequency is. What is your frequency? It is your default vibration. It is who you are at your core when you are comfortable, when you're in your element, when you're in the center of your joy, when you're feeling like you are being all the things you're supposed to be. That is who you are. When you are happiest, when you're smiling and laughing and feel good about life and feel good about yourself, that's when you are vibrating at your default, at your native frequency. And if everybody made it a priority to cultivate an understanding of themselves, do their shadow work, spend time alone, do meditation, do affirmations to remind themselves of who they are, if everybody could hold their own frequency, I believe we would move quickly into 5D. The reason why things are as slow as they are, and actually they are speeding up a little bit right now, the reason why things are moving along not as fast as they could is because So many of us are lost in someone else's vibration. We're lost in someone else's frequency. We've been hijacked by someone else's destiny. We've been hijacked by other people who've become so good at focusing on their priorities that they've manipulated you and gaslighted you into doing their bidding. And so they will especially take advantage of people that are generous and altruistic and who have a heart to give and who are genuine. They're going to take advantage of you, and you're going to get to the point where you feel guilty when you're not making them happy and you are sacrificing your own happiness. So this is my call, my beacon, my siren, my alarm, my bell that I'm ringing to get you to wake up and realize that your life is the most important life, that your priorities and what makes you happy is the most important thing. You do a disservice to other people in your life, all of them. You do a disservice to the whole world when you neglect the gem that is you, when you neglect the unique gifts that are embedded in you, in your aura, in your cosmic blueprint. When you neglect that and you tend to someone else's destiny, you are doing the world a disservice. And we can't get where we need to go without you. One of the things I've said in the past is you are as important as the sun. You are as important as the sun because you are a type of sun. We all are stars. In this dimension, it looks like, we're in these human bodies and we don't look like much, but in other dimensions, we're like stars. We're gigantic. We're way bigger than you think we are. And so your role, your purpose in this earth plane, in this school, per se, is so phenomenal that you must tend to it. You must tend to your purpose, not only for you, but for all of us. We need you to get where we're all going. So hold your frequency, understand who you are. So let's go through some tips. Let's cover some tips that will help you hold your frequency. Okay? And then we'll end. All right. What did I say? You want to meditate. You want to have some sort of daily ritual that allows you to get alone, no one else around, by yourself. It could be 5 minutes, it can be 50 minutes, it could be an hour. And it doesn't have to be a long time, but you have to be alone where you are just with you and yourself and the Creator, and you're connecting and you're receiving downloads and you're receiving revelation about yourself. That is going to help you be more of who you are. You need to do that on a daily basis. What else do you need to do? Affirmations in your meditation, maybe after meditation or during it. You want to have certain things that you say that remind you of who you are, remind you of your unique qualities, remind you of your particular purpose and your destiny that you should be busy with on this earth while you're here. And if you haven't come up with that, it is your duty, it is your responsibility to yourself and to the world to know why you're here, know what you're supposed to be doing, and have affirmations that you repeat to yourself every day, because what that does is it confirms and reminds you of who you are. And so when you begin your day, you do it with an understanding and an awareness of who you are. And that vibration that you're radiating out is making the world a better place. Okay? What else should you be doing? Review your relationships on a periodic basis. Like, a couple of times a year, make sure that you are not overgiving. Make sure that you are loving, but with boundaries. You cannot sacrifice yourself. Martyrdom is not the answer. We need your frequency. So if you just martyr yourself for other people's causes, then you're just holding space. You're not being who you are, and we need you. Okay? So important. Review your relationships for red flags. Make sure that you don't have people that are manipulating you, people that are gaslighting you, people that are causing you to feel guilty, people that are just using you, people that are siphoning off your energy, being energy vampires. Okay? Make sure that you have some sort of activity, pastime, or hobby that reflects who you are at your core and brings you into your element, that brings you into the center of your joy. You need to have something that you do at least twice a week that brings you complete joy and makes you feel like you, reminds you of who you really are. Guess what I do every week to remind me of who I am? This. I made a vow to myself that I would do this every week to make sure that I remember who I am and what I'm contributing to this earth plane and what I'm contributing to not only the people in my life, but to strangers. And regardless of how many people watch this, guess what? First is for me. First, this is for me. I'm doing it for me. And then as I do it for myself, then hopefully you get something out of it. So make sure you're doing something on a weekly basis at least that brings you joy and makes you feel like you're completely in your element. Self-love is the path to God. Self-love is the path to God. You cannot know God or love God until you really know and love yourself, because to really know yourself is to know God, because God is completely in you. You are a light, a reflection, and an inflection point in God. You are a particular sector in God. So if you don't get to know yourself, you're not get to know God. And when you neglect cultivating an awareness and a knowledge of yourself, you're neglecting that connection to God. And so everything that you're supposed to do in this world, the Creator has the codes for you, your unique codes that no one else can use. They're only yours. But you cannot really be who you're supposed to be until you cultivate that relationship with yourself and with the Creator. Next, be light. Be the light. How do you do that? Number one, know who you are and shine that vibration, shine that frequency, radiate who you are to the world. And the more and more you work on your shadow, the more you go back into your childhood in your head, and you begin to forgive those who have hurt you, and forgive yourself for the people you've hurt, because you've certainly hurt people too. One of the things that's challenging for me to deal with is when there are people in my life who tell me, I've never hurt anybody, I've never done any wrong to anyone. And I sit back, I'm like, my God, you are really not aware of yourself. Like, you're in denial. Everybody on this earth who is human has hurt someone. And you have to be able to forgive yourself for the things that you've done to people, even when it was unwitting and inadvertent. You've harmed people, you've hurt people, and you need to forgive yourself. And as you forgive yourself for that, and you begin to accept yourself and your shortcomings and realize you did the best you could at that time, guess what? You're going to be able to do that for other people. And then that is when the world becomes a better place. When we learn first to forgive ourselves and take care of ourselves and love ourselves deeply, then and only then can we really love others and can we really know God. Next, I said this before, but it is worth saying again. You must set boundaries. You have to know the difference between yourself and others. You have to know where you stop and others begin. You cannot get so mixed up in other people's lives that you lose yourself, because then you're out of your purpose. You're out of line. You're out of pocket. You are just wandering around. You have to know who you are, and you have to have boundaries. This is something I learned. You don't get a cookie for martyring yourself. You don't get a cookie, or you don't get an award, a trophy for martyring yourself, for burying your light, for not shining your light. You don't get a cookie for that, because you're really, it's a detriment to us all when you don't shine your light. When you don't show who you really are, because we're learning from each other. And we're all aspects of each other. And we're all aspects of God. We're connected. So be who you really are, and cultivate the ability as you do your shadow work to be honest and transparent as possible. You don't want to go around, in TMI mode where you're telling everybody all your business, because then you're not using discernment. But those people that you've curated to be in your life, those people that are in your circle, the 3 or 4, if you're lucky, 5 people that are in your circle, you need to cultivate a trust relationship with them, because as you reveal who you really are, they're going to reveal who they really are. And together you all form a soul tribe, a social complex. And then you really can change the world faster that way when you build these types of connections with like-minded people. Okay? So it's so important to be transparent to people that you can trust, to people that you've built a trust relationship with. Does that make sense? So this is all to say, holding your frequency is the most important thing you can do right now at this time. Understand who you are. Make yourself a priority. Make your bliss, your joy a priority. And it is a little paradoxical, but as you do that, you're making the world a better place. You become a better person to the people in your circle. You become a better friend, a better lover, a better husband, a better wife, a better son, daughter, brother. When you love yourself and take care of yourself and cultivate who you are, you make the world a better place. So hold your frequency, okay? That's all I have for you today. I'm going to go ahead and let you see what I see right now. Yeah, that's where I am. It's a really beautiful day here. I'm in Mesa, Arizona, just off the banks of the Salt River. It's really beautiful. It's finally starting to cool down here. So today I think the high is like 86, which is very different from what it was even a month ago. It was probably 106. So it was 20 degrees hotter a month ago. So we're starting to enjoy the reason why everybody comes to Arizona. It is very much a paradise between November and April every year. I recommend you visit it at least once. And if you come here once, you're going to want to come here again. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, it is important that you hold your frequency because you are extremely important. You are as important as the sun. Take care. Bye-bye.